Day 2 of the Fen Rivers Way begins at the village of Waterbeach and continues north along the river cam past Grazing Marsh to Bottisham Lock. The way sticks close to the river for the remainder of the journey to Ely, passing several stunning areas designed to attract and support local wildlife. The route passes on the opposite bank to Upware and heads north to cross the busy A1123. Just beyond is a defining landmark on the Fen Rivers Way as you reach the merging of the River Cam and the Great Ouse. There are several more miles of riverbank walking before the historical city of Ely is reached, with plenty of suitable overnight accommodation. Waterbeach, as with all other stops along the Fen Rivers Way, is well served by public transport thanks to the London to Kings Lynn line, with trains every hour in both directions. Today's route to the city of Ely begins by following the railway line briefly before turning away and heading straight back to the River Cam, which was followed for most of the first day. About 9 miles of the River Cam will be followed today, which works out as almost a quarter of the entire river's length, which provides fantastic opportunities to see some of its interesting wildlife. The first feature visited along the path is Bottisham Lock, which again gives the walker a chance to change which side they wish to walk along, with the eastern side remaining as an alternative route. Something of note should be the lack of facilities further ahead along the walk, with no opportunities for food or drink on the official route, whereas the alternative, there is a pub at Upware, which is perfectly placed for some riverside dining. It's along this stretch between Waterbeach and Upware that the Fen Rivers Way reaches some of its most remote locations. With its wide open fields and long riverbank walking, it's quite a few miles to the nearest town or village, which really adds to the sense of beauty and enjoyment of the walk. The first of several boatyards and moorings is passed on the opposite bank, showing how popular this stretch of river can be with boaters and tourists during the hotter summer months. Thankfully, I'm walking this during unseasonably warm weather in February, meaning the crowds of tourists have yet to arrive. It's not far past the moorings that the first of several wildlife-rich areas is reached. This flooded field sits directly next to the path and is home to many waders and waterfowl throughout the year. As I walked past the path I noticed widgeon, black-headed gulls and little egrets, so don't forget the binoculars. The ground round here feels flatter than ever as the route heads off the floodbank and joins the edge of the river for a mile or so, past a rather interesting sunken boat, and up onto the floodbank once more towards Upware. It's at this point another information board for the Fen Rivers Way is encountered, and with an interesting bit of geology mentioned. In the field to the south there is a line of lighter soil curving round to the left. According to the board, this was once the route of the River Cam many hundreds of years ago, causing a change in the soil colour. Just ahead is the village of Upware, but if you're sticking to the official route then there's no chance for a leisurely stop off. but for those who have chosen the alternative eastern path, can enjoy all the village has to offer. Halfway between the village of Upware and the A1123 sits an isolated pillbox, which so far has been a rather rare sight along the path. This is a Type 24 pillbox dating back to World War II. After braving the traffic of the A1123, the route continues along the western bank of the River Cam to arrive at another spectacular wildlife conservation area. Here there is chance to see oystercatcher, snipe and the lovely redshank. It is also along this very bank that the surprise of Ely Cathedral comes into view, towering over the low-lying fens. So close, though still many miles to go until the Isle of Eels is reached, with one very important landmark yet to be seen. Just a mile further ahead is the end of the great river that I've been following since the start of the walk. It's here that the Cam merges with the Great Ouse, which will remain in company until the final steps into Kings Lynn over 30 miles further ahead. It's not a sad farewell, but more of an enticing one, with the cathedral luring you closer, inviting you to explore its history. A quick crossing of the railway marks the final mile into the city, following the riverbank path under the new A142 bypass and onto the historic Isle of Ely.